Absolutely, I'm a big fan of both guys.
First W, it's Pro MMA.
It makes it difficult
Embrace
to
Martial
choose.
Arts from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Please welcome Dalton Too Strong Taylor.
Fighting out of Wake Forest.
That's not.
By way of Hawaii, it is Hano. It is TST.
They showed a little white girl.
That was about as far from Dalton as it gets.
I'm dying.
Dalton Taylor returns to action after an extensive layoff, coming back as a pro this time. At one time, he was a prospect with a lot of potential.
And do you want to fill everybody in on the last outing at Fight For It?
I mean, I commentated that one. It was a tough fight. Both guys, him and Caleb had a phenomenal fight, ending in a DQ due to eye poke. They fought again at Next Level Fight Club. It also ended in an eye poke. Dalton was ahead on the scorecards in both fights when they ended, but they are on his records as one loss and one no contest. So I'm very curious to see how he looks, because there hasn't been a lot of time in the training room before this fight camp. It wasn't an extensive I'm in the gym the whole time, I'm not fighting. It was like, I gotta fight, let's go back to the gym. So I'm curious to see how he looks tonight. If you've never seen Dalton fight before, hand speed. For a heavyweight guy, this guy can move his hands.
His opponent also looking to get their first dub in the cage tonight out of Gorilla Den MMA, an 864 legend out of Anderson, South Carolina. Please welcome Tylando TK Mattress.
TK, Tylando Mattress, we called his debut at Fight For It X about 2.5 years ago now.
I remember, and now both gentlemen making their pro debuts.
We need the lights off the cameras,
And like I said, Dalton was sitting right behind me at a wedding last week, so we were talking a bit about his upcoming fight, and he was doing a very good job of not giving in to any of the wedding food and drink temptation, which I commend him for, because that's so difficult.
I mean, when you're a heavyweight, it's not the end of the world.
Right? You don't have to worry so much about the weight, just how you feel. So that's why it's really admirable in that instance. Unlike me, when I was at 105, I couldn't even drink an extra ounce of water.
Yeah,
because
when I was competing at 225 in jiu-jitsu, it was like, even if I didn't have a competition coming up, I couldn't indulge. Then I was just like, you know what? Ultra heavyweight doesn't sound so bad. It's fine. Whatever.
This is a promise to be an absolute
And he's
banger.
back in those Nike shorts. We saw those Nike shorts. They held on for dear life in the last fight. It looks like they're back once again.
They were holding tighter than I hold on to my dog at night.
I hear some TST chants. I mean, you're talking about a staple of the Raleigh MMA scene. I mean, Dalton Taylor is a guy that a lot of people in the Raleigh MMA scene fully believe in. And if you know anything about him personally, what he's been through personally, losing his wife to cancer and so many battles he's fought that have been way worse than a fist fight. Tonight, he finds himself in another one.
Coming out very aggressive. Both guys around the same height, but Dalton does seem to be the stronger of the two fighters. We'll see if that plays to his advantage.
I don't know about all that. TK's definitely strong. He's got those thick legs. A lot of your power is generated from a certain area on your body.
Talk about the glutes.
And TK's got a lot of that area.
Dylan's so polite.
I mean, I could be less polite. He's caked up.
Give the people what they want.
He's caked up for show, as the kids say.
Right? Betty Crocker status.
And this is not the kind of
Look
fight.
how fast these heavyweights are.
This is how TK's debut was. He just swung for the fences from Japan every exchange. And if Dalton starts throwing straight down the pipe, that's not the kind of fight you want to get into with him, just because he's quicker than a snicker.
I mean, both of them are just like throwing heavy and slipping very well, like both fighters.
If Dalton cannot do anything else in MMA, he can box.
And I know both fighters are definitely going to look to keep it standing. I don't expect us to see anything on the ground, and if it does, they're going to work very quickly to try and get back up. Man, they're throwing bombs. You don't want to get stuck at the end of that range.
They are throwing heavy.
I don't know. We might see another knockout. Small gloves, big men. Oof.
When we saw TK previously fight Markel Jones, Markel had a tough time hurting him because he just had such a chin on him.
That was a good fight.
I know Dalton has finishing power. I've seen him finish guys, but I just don't know if he can finish this particular guy with the hands. It's going to take a lot of damage. He gets a big step-in hook right there.
TK's got a chin on him, you know?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, he's catching him ducky now, too.
And less of a layoff, too. Swinging a little wild there. Dalton steps out of the way.
Dalton knows when he's in a fight. And he knows he's in a real scrap right now.
He seems a lot more calm this time than last time, but it's been so long.
I agree.
So sometimes that can help a fighter or hurt a fighter.
Also, when you're in there against somebody you've lost against before, you get this mindset of I have to really finish him and beat him. TK's just another guy to Dalton. And the same thing for Dalton and TK. They've never met before. So TK, I haven't seen too many of his fights since he left that debut and went on to other promotions and do all these other things. But making his debut with a successful amateur record, some of his finishes by strikes. Not a lot of time on the ground.
Oh,
straight
stiff
punch.
jab.
And that's what I'm talking about. Right down the pipe, there are few heavyweights in this region that are as fast as Dalton when it comes to throwing straight punches.
He should look for that more after that, especially because TK keeps ducking his head down when he throws those overhand.
Yeah, so far he's doing a great job of matadoring them.
Yeah, and the faster route is going to be that straight shot for sure.
Dalton made a huge miscalculation there throwing a tee.
Which I don't know, he was having such success with the hands.
TK really tried to swarm him.
When you're having that much success with the hands, don't fix what ain't broke.
Right. 5-minute rounds sure feels like a lifetime compared to those 3-minute rounds we had earlier.
Especially for heavyweights, I'm sure.
TK's drilling those jabs to the body.
I wonder if Dalton's going to notice he keeps ducking his head down as he goes for it. I'm sure his corner, Thiago's definitely going to be the one to tell him.
Thiago's about to yell at him in Portuguese.
Oh, that always scares me. As one who's been yelled at many a times by Thiago.
Oh. Dalton leads with the fingers. He said, you know what? I've been eye-poked my last 3 fights. I'm going to throw some eye pokes in this one. Everybody gets one.
Give TK a little bit to recover. And looks like he's good. We're starting again. Little glove touch. Not much left in this first round.
There's that jab again. Second jab he's thrown, and it landed super, super clean.
Ooh, TK having a little bit of success there.
Yeah, he is touching Dalton. He's chasing a little bit, but it's all good because he's landing.
These guys are making their pro debuts, and I wonder if they remember that it is, pro rules to start throwing some elbows.
Maybe. I imagine that Dalton will want to do that either against the fence wall or on the ground. But
there we go. Looks for one on the return.
Step in there, and look at that frame. Nice frame.
Thiago's very good at that elbow.
Dalton's got him against the fence here. Oh, and Dalton tries the big spinning back elbow.
And his stance will listen to me. TK able to just kind of move right underneath that. Close round for sure.
TK's already huffing and puffing after round 1, though.
I expected that, heavyweights going 5 minutes.
I guess so, yeah.
This is a 15-minute fight, and if you think about it, the amateur title fights were all 15 minutes, but they were broken up into 5 separate rounds. When you're doing 5 minutes at a time, it can be very exhausting. Both fighters trying to get their breath back before stepping back into the center of the cage.
Dalton training out of Embrace Martial Arts. We talked briefly about Thiago Santos earlier. Also in the corner is Roland Mazel, a former heavyweight champion in this organization, and Brandon Locklear, who's kind of a heavyweight prospect in the region as an amateur. So a lot of heavyweights at that gym. I know my friend Aaron Jefferson was over there for a little bit.
Getting some words from TK there.
I think he was talking to Dale. Dale said watch the fingers because he keeps reaching out.
He got enough energy to chatter.
Yeah, yes sir. I believe TK comes from a football and wrestling background. So when you're an athlete, you're used to being able to hear coaches and refs talk to you in crazy situations, so you kind of zone in on that.
One of my heavyweights is notorious for always answering me mid-round.
You don't need to talk back.
I tell him all the time, I know you're listening when you do the things I say. Rudy, if you're watching this, that's at you. A little bit of a flurry there from TK.
Dalton is just stronger. Dalton's really pushing him around. I think TK is probably closer to a 205er than a true heavyweight.
I agree, which is why I thought Dalton, despite the cakety cake, as you said, from TK, Dalton does seem to have that strength advantage.
Well, there's not a lot of pulling in MMA. MMA is more of a, when you talk about
head kick that doesn't phase Dalton at all.
I think that was across the chest and the shoulder. So
yeah, and floated on top of the shoulder there. But again, just the ooze of the crowd can sway the judges sometimes into thinking something had a harder connection than it did. I hope Dalton starts pushing the pace here.
I mean, it does seem like TK's fading back a little bit.
Exactly, and fading back and dipping his head, and Dalton seems to be kind of the more fresher fighter here. But again, at heavyweights, it just takes one. It just takes one.
A long time to go too.
And even though Dalton seems to be fresher, TK is throwing more. Dalton a big swing and a miss on the uppercut there. Got to set those uppercuts up because you need a strike from inside the pocket.
Yeah, Dalton's going to need to turn up the volume here. We've got 2 minutes of this round has gone by. And he does have TK backing up, but it's just one and done shots. And there's a big shot for TK Mattress. Another big straight punch. The straight punches.
Dalton's coming forward without throwing anything behind it, so TK is not respecting his size and just kind of throwing things out there. Dalton trying to just now reach. He really needs to set these movements up with strikes. He needs some volume.
TK breathing heavy. Dalton's not going away. Dalton going with the Homer Simpson defense here, just getting punched and coming in behind it. And TK just a little too tired to do too much about it, really.
Yeah, both guys kind of exhausted now.
There's the jab.
I think those big swinging and misses from TK earlier on.
They take a lot out of you, especially when you're his size. You're throwing around that much, gluteus. You gotta. It's like a gravitational pull behind it.
Yeah, I mean they're just both so strong. Oh, that was a really good right hand from Dalton. He just has to step into it.
You're a wrestler now.
Okay, TK shooting and landing a successful takedown.
Yeah, Dalton can't settle here.
Yeah, and there's still a minute 25 to work, and it's going to be hard for Dalton to get up from here.
Yeah, he really put himself in a bad spot. I know he's been doing some grappling at Elevate, and he was doing some training for this camp at Elevate, but I know that has been a problem for him in the past, is getting up from positions like this.
I mean, it's a lot of body to move up. Bad place for elbows right here, too.
TK's leaning over like he's trying to separate that arm for a
Yeah,
Kimura.
I'm wondering why I'm not seeing more strikes from here instead.
He's really going all in on this Kimura lock, I think. Oh, he steps over into mount. What a ride.
Wow, and still 40 seconds to work from here.
TK in mount, raining down.
Plenty of time. He's not landing like super clean shots, so Dalton might be able to tough it out to the next round.
Dalton's got to move. Dalton's got to do something here. Dale Fry is going to let you work. He will let you work. A lot of refs would have stopped it already, but Dale is in there hanging out and watching this one closely. And, man, all of Dalton's defenses are being melted.
Good elbow there from TK. And it's short time, so it looks like Dalton is going to be able to get into the next round.
Good frames on that elbow.
Yeah.
He only took one really bad shot.
He really did, only that one elbow, and he wisened up to those elbow strikes and was able to block them after. But a very good round for TK.
It's 1-1 for sure. I mean, in my opinion, it's 1-1. TK maybe even could have won that first one, but I think that Dalton just touched him a little too much. So, I mean, both guys got to fight hard in this last round, and I'm curious how much TK gave up in that last round in terms of his stamina.
Very interesting to see how this third round plays out for these gentlemen. Both corners chattering very intently with their fighters. Dalton taking a little bit longer to get off the stool there.
Last round in a big fight here, both physically and metaphorically. Pro debut for both men here at heavyweight. And
Let's go.
There's a lot on the line here in this last round. This fight.
Yeah, a lot less power being thrown with these strikes now. Oh man, there's another big swing and a miss from TK.
This fight could still go either way.
I don't know about you, but I'm still looking to see a bunch of straights from Dalton here. Like really, turn this fight towards him.
Yeah, that's really been missing. And the cross too. The cross is one of Dalton's best punches.
Yeah, both guys, you could tell they're tired. Their hands are really low, sitting at their chest right now, which isn't. It's just energy expenditure for no reason because you're still holding your arms up, but not enough to really protect you from anything.
TK just landed a big shot right on the chin of Dalton.
Right. Dalton's still coming forward though. Oh, good jab there from Dalton.
Every punch that's hurt TK in this fight has been a straight punch.
Indeed. TK chattering again. You got to step in with those, Dalton. And you can really see the fatigue wearing on both these men right now.
Well, when you're both tired, it usually comes down to who spars more when they're tired in the gym and who gives up. Who says, oh, I'm tired from sparring, let me go home. And who says, I'm tired, but I'm going to keep sparring.
Right, that's where champions are made.
Exactly, because you have to be able to fight like this. You have to be able to fight in a grueling contest of attrition with another man your size, knowing that you're both tired.
Right. Wouldn't it be nice if all your fights were easy, but the ones that like really make a man out of you are the ones that you find that grit and fight for.
Fight for it.
But 17 times. There you go. You see much slower pace now
from both guys, but TK is voluming. He's throwing with volume.
Throwing more, even though the punches are slower, they're still more frequent. Oh, there we go. These were some good little combo from TK.
He just got a big two-piece on Dalton there.
Yep. Dalton tried to hit an uppercut, but didn't find success there.
Nice, good sprawl, good down block rather from Dalton.
Yeah,
Taylor.
He was ready that time. He said, not again.
Both guys just way tired now in the third. And Dalton finally throws some kicks.
There we go.
The last kick he threw, he got taken down off of, so he actually set that one up.
Yeah, and it was not a teep this time, but a switch kick to the body. Oh, all right, getting a little suave there.
Yeah, he glanced him there, but his arm was extended. Had it actually been folded up in a right angle, another big haymaker for TK.
Little double overhand action.
TK's going straight punch overhand every time, and he is really putting it on the Hawaiian.
Whoever this, there's a bright camera there. And just a minute and a half left to go in this third and final round. Dalton landing 2 really good shots with the left hand.
But just hanging out.
Oh, wow. He might be too tired to get up, too.
And Dalton's not a submission artist.
This is not a good place to be in if you are Dalton. TK trying to find a home for those elbows. Dalton hanging on to prevent and TK just gets right to the mount from there.
Full minute to go.
Yeah. Potential for some real damage to be inflicted right here. It looks like he was trying to set up an Americana. Honestly, your best bet is strikes at heavyweight here. Those subs are very hard to finish. But both gentlemen quite tired right now.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he hangs out. Nothing wrong with hanging out at this point. You've gone 15 hard minutes. Oh, he's like checking to see if he's conscious.
Well, that's just when there's such lack of movement that they have to see if you're.
Dale's like, you did?
Yeah, like basically like poking the bear, you know, with a stick.
10 seconds left, and it will be TK Mattress who ends this fight on top.
Definitely disappointing way to end the fight when you're stuck on bottom like that in mount under such a large, heavy man, too.
Tough fight at heavyweight, and I do not think that it will go the Hawaiians' way here. I think TK did more than enough in those last 2 rounds to get the win. I just saw Dalton go too far away from his skill set in this fight that he had previously established.
Very strong first round from Dalton.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he fought, in my opinion, and I hate to say this because I love him like a brother, but he fought like a guy who hasn't been in the gym in a year.
Ring rust is definitely a real thing.
But the question now is this another year and a half, year 2 off for Dalton while he kind of figures stuff out? Or does he get right back on the saddle, take another fight, stay in the gym from fight camp to fight camp and try to bring himself back to that previous state? Because it's very rare that someone looks better in their first and second amateur fight than they do as a pro, but in my opinion, that's what we saw here tonight.
Well, and that's just because, like you said, of time in the gym, you know. I mean, when I was fighting in my early amateur days, I practically lived in the gym.
Right.
My first relationship failed because of it, because he didn't train, and my training came first, and it still does. But I never wanted to have the mindset that my opponent trained more than me.
We have a unanimous decision going to the blue corner, Tylando TK Mattress.
You got that Dale Earnhardt jacket on too.
Yeah.
Praise Dale.
Very interesting. Good show of sportsmanship from both fighters. Lots of respect to get in the cage here. TK starting his pro career off 1-0.
In a tough, grueling fight. He earned that dub.
Went the distance. Probably, the longest fight for both these gentlemen.